All right, Big T, I'm going to have to see that license real fast just to make sure that we're all good. Okay. Yeah, you got one. All right, okay. Mark, now, are you okay with possibly driving on the left side of the road if we have to?
No, I can't drive on the left side. You don't want me driving on the left side.
Okay, Tate, if we had to go to England, hypothetically, and we had to get a van for all of us, would you be okay?
I don't think so. Not in this company.
Okay, yeah, I'm toast. We got no other options. Yeah, we'll get to that after the break, but first and foremost, it's Wake Up Barstool and FS1. We have MLB opening day, and we are feeling oh so sweet because the Sweet 16 tonight as well. So stick around, we're talking about it all on FS1. Hey everybody, it is Wake Up Barstool, the Thursday edition on FS1. Connor Griffin, and then I think we got 3 T's right here. Big T, Titus, lot of T in the room. And Tate, it is a little bit frightening, but welcome boys. Yeah, tee them up. It is a massive day. We do want to say, the reason why we did that intro, PFT commenter, typically on the Thursday crew, he is out. Jersey Jerry also on the Thursday crew. He is out of the country. And he got into a little bit of an accident when he was in England yesterday. I don't know if we have the pictures or anything like that, but Jersey Jerry, usually on the Thursday show, he got into a car accident when he was trying to drive a rental car. He wasn't trying to drive it.
Yeah, he wasn't trying to drive it. We don't know who was trying to drive it.
We don't know who was trying to drive the car.
I have no idea. Could have been anyone.
We know that Jerry was in the car trying to drive as they were trying to drive on the left side of the road. And yeah, as Dave tweeted out last night, this was a business trip with some of our coworkers. They got into this car accident because this was their first time in England, and they tried to do rental car driving. Did not work out in the slightest. And yeah, there's just you knew this was going to happen from the beginning, that something bad was going to happen.
Can I just say credit to Jerry for taking responsibility? He did take full responsibility. Yes. Of course, he did acknowledge that he was not driving.
He was not driving.
But it's his fault.
Yeah.
And Maresh was driving.
But not his fault.
But it's not Maresh's fault.
Do not blame Maresh.
Nobody blame Maresh. This was very savvy from Jerry.
Yes, and we should point out everybody was okay. Everybody in the van, the other party involved was okay. And yeah, this was a tweet that David sent out. Our Telluride Bush gaming company, they are over there in England for this massive tournament. And yeah, they've been dying to get some backing from Dave and from Big Cat, and this is their first real opportunity to get some financial investment. They crash a van over in England.
Can I confess something now that Jerry's not here?
Yeah.
And I'm a massive Jerry fan. I'm a massive Sass fan. I'm a massive Mook fan.
Yes.
So, but I just want to say, I still am not really sure if Telluride Bush is a real thing. No. I still can't, and I'm scared to say that to Jerry. But I still, every time they talk about it, I think it's like a bit. Is it like an actual?
No, I think it's real.
It's like a real?
Good. Yeah, they are general managers.
They they play video games?
Yeah, no, well, okay. Mook, Sass,
I legitimately thought for the longest time it was like Jerry was like, I just want to play video games, and then someone called him on.
They don't play at all.
Yeah,
Jerry doesn't even play.
They're the managers of essentially, I believe, a minor league team.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there's a professional league.
That's a real thing.
That's a real thing.
Because he sits here a lot and talks about it, and I go along with the joke, but it is a real.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very real.
Okay,
and for anybody outside of the Barstool universe who's maybe watching this at their gym or anything like that, go watch some Telluride Bush. It's a very, very fun product. We wish him the best of luck, and we wish Jerry the best of luck, and hopefully he's back in one.
But you don't understand my confusion.
No, absolutely.
The only Telluride Bush content that makes it across my desk is things like this.
Yes.
They were in a car wreck, and then,
Well, if we're focusing on what's real and what's not, baseball is very real. Baseball is back. We're all repping the hometown teams. Very, very excited.
One of us is ready to play, I noticed.
Yeah. Actually,
I don't play till 10 p.m.
That is strong. I should have brought that.
Take this pop-up. Money.
There you go.
Easy.
What year is that glove from?
This is my Little League glove. I don't know why I still have it. I think I have it just in case someone asked me to play baseball. Like I'm one of those guys that I don't like having stuff in my house, but I do. You have to be ready for anything.
No, I agree.
And if something pops up where the boys are like, hey, we're playing baseball later, I need to have my glove ready.
Okay. And you do have a job where that could happen.
It could happen. So I just keep it on standby, and I saw it as I was getting ready this morning and thought, what better day to bring the glove in than today, right?
Opening day.
It's nice.
So signed by George Brett. I think he personally signed it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah,
That's big
got his
time.
autograph right there on the palm. I have a question for the room. Is this functional, or is this just like a look to have the little hole where you stick your finger out?
My glove, I'm a little bit younger than you. My glove has the hole. You can do all of it if you want.
Oh.
You just have the finger hole.
I don't know why this exists. Is it like
It's
is the
so
idea?
you don't break your finger. If you put your index finger in there and catch a ball right off, you'd break your finger.
Is that so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now the kids instead of putting the index finger through the glove, they like putting two fingers in the pinky hole, and then they just put their whole hand in the glove.
I honestly,
That's
I
what
don't,
the kids
I
are
don't
doing
feel
these
like it
days?
makes
Yeah.
that much of a difference.
I don't. Am I wrong? Professionals do not put their finger through that hole.
A lot do.
Do they?
Really?
Well, those that's like I think pitchers have the one with just the whole. Usually, it's the whole hand that's open.
Interesting.
But a lot of guys now they do.
I
they
never
put
noticed the
their
difference.
whole hand in it and they slide the fingers down.
We're seeing a lot of change in MLB. And there was
This
a game
guy's a
yesterday.
pro.
Really?
This guy's a professional.
A lot of change. And ABS system was tested out yesterday. We had our opening day game. It was the Yankees-Giants. Terrible game. Yankees win 7-0. Very, very cool as a spectacle and whatnot. But yeah, the game.
Disagree. Not cool.
Okay, well, the game. Oh, well, let's get to that right
Some
then.
of the shenanigans
Well, I'm just saying,
were
everything.
aplenty.
Pre-game, and then we get baseball back, but there's definitely a lot of debate about whether or not this should have been the very first game at night, standalone game on Wednesday, when technically opening day is supposed to be today. It's supposed to be like the day games. Big T, your overall takes about last night.
I think that's fine. That's what every sport does. The NFL's playing games on Tuesday now. The first game's going to be on a Wednesday. Like it's one game the night before. That's fine. Like it was cool. It was Tony Vitello's first game playing the Yankees. Like yeah, who cares? I didn't love the broadcast. But other than that, I have no issue with.
My only problem is like why this matchup. I think if there was like a more compelling reason that these two teams are playing each other, I'd be into the idea of a one-off game before opening day. But the Yankees Giants, what
Why
does
can't
that
we
do
have
for anybody?
Why can't we have the defending World Series champions?
Yeah.
Like every other sport realizes the opening night, you
Right.
give them their ring, whatever it may be. What are the Dodgers doing? Back-to-back champions.
Baseball schedules are put out in like August.
Move it up a day.
Well, what does that mean?
It means like the 2027 schedule will come out like right at the All-Star break this year. They don't know who's going to win the World Series.
Well, why don't they? I mean, like it feels like an easy fix, doesn't it?
That's just how it's done. I don't know.
We could do it. We
The
don't have
ball
the
is done, man.
We
Yeah.
don't have the technology.
We don't know how to do it
change
anymore. I don't-
a game.
yeah.
Yeah.
But if it rains in Cincinnati today, they could like readjust the entire schedule around that. But
I don't know, man. Why are you yelling at me?
I'm
I
not
didn't
yelling
do
at you. I'm
anything.
just saying it just feels like it feels like a cop out.
Yeah, they especially the MLB, they have been really trying to not revolutionize the game, but tweak it a lot over the years. The ABS system is a new thing that they've tried out. Actually, it was funny. The first one that they did last night, first ABS call ever in MLB regular season history. It was actually, the challenge was not overturned. It stayed true on the field and everything, which was pretty funny. The ump was right, so that was a nice piece of history right there. But I'm curious for you guys, was that technically opening day yesterday? Is this opening day? Are both opening day? How do we treat this?
Opening day is when I go to Wrigley Field for the first time.
Which will be when?
Probably in a few weeks.
Okay. Well, do you want to launch that? Take yours. I know you were saying some stuff before the show.
Well, I don't want to poo-poo anyone else's. I mean, it's an exciting day. Baseball's back. I love baseball. It's probably my second favorite sport behind college basketball. But the problem is, this is a big college basketball day, and I think opening day should be in April. I don't like it. It's a personal problem. But today I woke up. I gave zero thought to the idea that baseball starts today. My entire brain is focused on the Sweet 16. It is March Madness. It's named that for a reason. The month is March. We're focused on March Madness. I don't like that baseball's starting today. I didn't even realize I don't even know who the Cubs were playing until I walked in. But that is a personal problem. I'm a college basketball guy. When I was growing up, it started in April. They've pushed it back into this overlaps with March Madness a little too much.
Question mark.
Go ahead.
What about March Madness going into April, though?
Well, that's why I think it starts in April. At that point, March Madness has infringed on baseball. Baseball, you can do whatever you want. I think that's a fair. If someone came to me and they're like, I can't care about the Final Four because baseball started, I would say fair. It's March Madness. You got to get it in March.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
There
are rhythms to a sports calendar, and I think these sports leagues have decided that they are the only one that matters, and they have no respect for other sports, and it drives me crazy. Football used to be played on Sunday. Football, in 20 years, they're going to play football on every day of the week. They're going to find an extra day of the week to play football.
2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean,
and probably also in 20. I'm a guy who likes a rhythm to the calendar, and for me personally, it's just a little early, that's all.
You said this was a top 5 day of the year, though.
I love opening day. Opening day is a family tradition of mine. For me personally, it's the home opener, though. Like the Guardians are on the West Coast tonight. They play at 10 p.m. in Seattle. That is not opening day. They go Seattle, then they go out to the Dodgers before they come back to Cleveland. But it is a family tradition. It is everyone gets to the bar at about 7 a.m., tailgate all day, hang out, and then the first pitch is it a ball or a strike? That depends how your year's going to be. So I don't know. Opening day, it just feels like everyone's 0-0. It should be a day game. I hate that we're playing at night. But yeah, I think opening day is one of the best days of the year.
Does your dad have a fun tradition? Does he have the parking lot space and everything like that?
Last time I was on here, we talked family tradition. Our whole family is just superstition. Yes, he has a lucky parking spot in Cleveland. Mm-hmm. He is going to opening day next week.
How long has he been doing this with the lucky parking spot?
10 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I think he's been to every opening day for like 30 years.
How many World Series in those 10 years?
Yeah, but this is what he does, though.
For that lucky spot.
He always does this.
Yeah.
This is the Cubs. I got Cubs
10 years ago, they lost to the Cubs.
Okay, he's been doing it 9 years.
Wait, so when I do my McDonald's game day breakfast for football, it's just something I like to do. It gets me in the groove. It gets me in the rhythm of the typical game day. And Mark is always like, "Oh, how's that working out for you?" Blah, blah, blah. It's like
the McDonald's breakfast doesn't work.
People can just do it to do it. People can just do it because they like to do it, and it's a part of their game day routine. The lucky parking spot, even if it's not necessarily lucky, it's still a parking spot that you go to every single time. It's a rhythm and everything. But anyway, what else would be in the top 5 days of the sports calendar for you? Obviously, the first day of March Madness.
Are we counting? Here's my question. Are we counting Thursday and then Friday? Because those are 2 the same days. Mm-hmm. Or is it one day?
What are you talking about?
March Madness? Yeah.
The opening round. I do think Thursday's a little, like Friday, it's the same round, but I do think Thursday's the day that people think of.
Okay.
Because I do think there's probably a lot of casual people that like lock in on Thursday, and then Friday they're like, this is a bit much. I can't devote. Like, we don't, but, you know.
Right. Okay.
But
so
I think
Thursday,
like
March
most
Madness.
of America is like Thursday it starts, and then, you know, they taper off after that.
I'm throwing opening day in there.
Yeah.
What professional football playoff round is your favorite? Like some people say Super Bowl Sunday, but it's one game.
Divisional is the best.
Yeah.
Conference championship's a good day too.
But that's only 2 games.
It's a fair point.
The best days of the college football calendar, the first 14 are just college football Saturdays, and then 15 is where you can start doing other ones.
Wait. Okay. Yeah. I see what you're saying. I was sorry. I was just trying to piece that.
My first 14 are
yeah.
every Saturday from Labor Day to Thanksgiving.
Okay.
If the Masters is good, I think Masters Sunday has an opportunity to be a great sports day.
Very interesting. Okay. Well, I mean, I guess as we're sticking with MLB before we head to break and everything like that, do we have expectations for any of our respective teams? Are you guys feeling okay about the season?
We win the World Series.
The Cubs
Fire
are,
everyone.
Fire everybody. The Cubs are looking really, really good in terms of
I'm
paper.
optimistic about the Cubs. I think one of the cool things about baseball is baseball does a really good job of selling optimism to every team. Maybe not every team, but like there's a higher percentage of optimism going into opening day on baseball than I think any other sport. And it might be the nature of the sport is that like you can't just win because you have one really good player. You have to have a complete team. And a lot of these young guys will sometimes play better than we expected and stuff like that. Like the White Sox and Rockies and some of these teams towards the bottom, you know, they're obviously not going to win the World Series. But I do think that, like, the Pirates are a good example. The Pirates are a dreadful franchise, have been for a very long time. And yet on opening day, I imagine Pirates fans are like, yeah, I don't think we're going to suck so bad this year, you know? And I think that's cool about baseball because there are a lot of – NBA is probably the worst. I think NBA, you go into an NBA season and half the league is just like, yeah, we suck and we're going to suck all year and we should actively suck. Baseball, I don't think it works that way. I think there's a lot of optimism today, and that makes it fun.
Now, quick check on those odds. Those must be the order, or relatively, that teams performed in spring training, right? Like the Dodgers probably had the best record in spring training.
I'm not sure.
Could be because they're the most talented team.
That
in
might
baseball
also be an answer.
by far.
Oh, wait. I'm hearing in my ear. The Braves actually won the spring training championship. Congratulations to the Atlanta Braves. Finished with the best record in spring training. That's right.
So are you feeling optimistic, Big T?
No, we have no pitchers. They're all hurt.
Okay. Fair enough.
But the offense was good in spring training, so
okay.
That's good.
That's a positive.
Also, we don't even play today, which is
that's
a disgrace.
Yeah. So opening day was yesterday, but it's also today. But then for 6 teams, it's tomorrow.
Connor, how would you do opening day if you're the commissioner of baseball?
I would probably just stack them all in one day. Mm-hmm. All 15 games would it be? Just all at once.
All in the
same time slot. Exactly.
First pitch at almost the exact same.
All at once, probably around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Eastern time. And I just have them all overstimulation at its finest. But we are obviously talking about America's pastime. Next up, we're talking about America's team. Mm-hmm. Mark Titus back with the America's Team Power Rankings. It's after the break on Wake Up Barstool, so stay locked. We'll be right back after these words. What's up, guys? Just remember, tweet at us, #AskWub.
Connor, let me ask you something.
Ask us anything. You want to ask me something right now?
I want to ask you something right now.
Go ahead.
Is this intimidating?
Yeah, you
If I was throwing a pitch at you?
You got to stop doing that.
Yes.
I'm sweating bullets over here.
Huh? I love when guys do that. And
Can't put the glove to your mouth with the ball
Oh, yeah, true.
Like this.
Very, very true.
You can't put the glove to your mouth with the ball?
while you have the ball. That's correct.
You could be spitting.
You can
on
do it during a mouth visit.
So when you do that, you go like when guys are like trying to intimidate the batter. They have the ball down like this, and then they're.
I think you
ball's
can
behind
get
the-
it close, but you can't get it up like in your face.
So like,
Yeah.
with that, when Randy, so I could go like Randy Johnson, like that's the shot of Randy
I don't
Johnson.
know how close
Randy
you can
Johnson
get.
winding up is he's going like this, and he's 6'11" or whatever, and
The photographer?
yeah, the wildlife photographer, the
Wildlife
photographer Randy Johnson.
I think Caitlin Clark was photographer last night. A lot of people are getting into photography. Anyway, AskWub. Just saying, it's a fun little hobby. Mark, I now pitch it to you as in my ear. I'm getting told Ken Griffin Jr., also a photographer.
Ken Griffin Jr. Right.
We pitch it to you now, Mark. America's team. Who's America rooting for the most? Let's see. We got a power rankings here.
These are America's Team Power Rankings.
Yeah.
Tate and Connor, I know you're new to the Thursday show, but we like to tell America who they should be rooting for. A lot of sports going on right now. Your attention's pulled a million different ways, so I thought I would condense it all into a list and tell you these are the teams you need to be throwing your weight behind.
Thank you, Mark.
We start at number 5. The Iowa Hawkeyes, they are a 9 seed. They are not actually by seed the worst team left in the Sweet 16. That would be the 11 seed Texas Longhorns. The problem is Texas and is one of the biggest athletic departments in the country. And also Texas has NBA talent, and Iowa does too. Bennett Sturts will play in the league eventually. But what makes Iowa such a fun story for me is number 1, they're a 9 seed that just upset the defending champions. The first time since 2018 that a 9 seed beat a 1 in the NCAA tournament. The other thing is the story of the coach and the best player. They start at Northwest Missouri State, Bennett Sturts and Ben McCollum. They go to Drake together. The coach takes the job at Drake, brings his best player with him. Then they go to Iowa together, and they've each moved up like the ladder a little bit. And now Ben McCollum and Bennett Sturts, who have been together seemingly for 800 years playing basketball together. He raised the boy. Ben McCollum raised Bennett Sturts, it seems like. They are now in the Sweet 16, playing against a conference foe, Nebraska. And, Nebraska's a fun story as well. Has never made a Sweet 16 in their program's history. So, tough break that we get the two probably most likable teams left in this tournament to play each other. Someone has to be eliminated. But I think Iowa, given that they beat the defending champs in upset fashion and in an exciting fashion, I gave the nod to Iowa.
I think that's strong. Iowa, Midwest, farmers, America. That's very, very much.
Iowa feels
you
like
just described Nebraska as well.
I was going to say, if
that is
Nebraska beats
Nebraska.
Iowa, I think they become
everything.
Maybe, I don't know. But I've been to Iowa. I have not been to Nebraska. Therefore, I am pulling for Iowa.
But I love the story. I love the story of
Ben.
Bennett Sturts and Ben McCollum.
It is
I love that they're in the Sweet 16 now. So Iowa, I have number 5 on America's Team Power Rankings.
Okay. Who's 4?
At number 4, we have the Colorado Rockies, the Washington Nationals, and the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. And the reason why is because I make one sports bet a year. I place one bet a year. Sometimes I'll do more. Sometimes I'll get crazy. But the one consistent bet I make every single year is I make an insane parlay for division winners in Major League Baseball. Last night, I placed my parlay. The Angels, the Nationals, and the Rockies to all win their division. 20 cents will pay me $246,000. And I need all of America to root for these 3 teams. I'll be a rich man, and I'll probably just fade into oblivion.
You sent this into our group chat last night.
Yeah.
And it was one of those moments where I'm like, oh my goodness, he did it. Like
he did it again.
It's you look forward to it every single year.
Last year I did White Sox, Marlins, and I think both teams, like the Marlins actually weren't bad last year.
No.
The Marlins had like a decent year. And the White Sox, maybe you remember this, Tate, for like the first month, I don't think they were leading the division, but the AL Central was so bad that like it made for a fun month. It made for a first fun month.
I believe they both started 1-0 and you were looking for a cash out.
I was looking for a cash out, yeah. I was looking to cash my 20 cents out for about 23 cents.
Yeah.
So
but
there you go.
3 people or 3 teams this time. I remember last year, wasn't it only 2?
It was only 2, but I thought I'd up it a little bit. Yeah, I don't even know what the odds are. What is that number? That looks like
too high.
That looks like pi.
Yeah,
looks like digits of pi.
Plus, I don't know.
That's 124 billion.
100, is that right?
Yeah.
124 million.
Million.
Close enough.
Plus 124
lot.
million. Yes.
Love it.
So there you go.
All right, so those 3 teams.
Yeah, and you can tail if you want, Connor.
I might have to. All right, what do we got for number 3 on the rankings?
Number 3 on America's Team Power Rankings is 2311 Racing. I'm not sure how locked in you guys are on NASCAR right now, but Michael Jordan is the owner of 2311 Racing. The NASCAR season is underway. There have been 6 races that have been run. Michael Jordan's team has won 4 of them. Tyler Reddick has won. He's won the 4. Michael Jordan is a guy who obviously is one of the greatest basketball players of all time. A lot of people think he is the GOAT. He does not care about basketball at all. No. And at this point in his life, Michael Jordan only cares about NASCAR racing. It is so funny. NBC paid $10 trillion to have one sit-down interview with Michael Jordan to get him to talk about basketball. And I feel like NASCAR people, you could just put a microphone in front of his face, ask him about NASCAR, and he won't shut up. He loves it. And it's very funny to me that this is Michael Jordan's life now, just winning NASCAR races. And the other funny thing is he owns this team with Denny Hamlin, who actually doesn't even race for this team. And Denny Hamlin won one of the other races that Team 2311 did not win.
Okay, one of the 2?
One of the 2 other races was won by an owner of 2311.
Pretty wild.
They're dominating NASCAR.
Why isn't he on his team that he owns?
No idea.
Tough look for the team.
Yeah.
Well, so I got a question with Michael Jordan, not to get too sidetracked or anything. Obviously, and we'll get to this more later on. UNC does not have a head basketball coach at the moment. Does Michael Jordan get involved in that at all? Does he just kind of
No, that's what I'm saying.
it out?
Michael Jordan only cares about racing.
Exactly.
And it's very funny, and I love that, like, Michael Jordan has... The mystique of Michael Jordan is such that, like, he's not in the public eye at all, which is what makes this so fascinating, is that if you want to know what Michael Jordan is up to, you have to watch NASCAR races. That's the only way you're going to find out. He doesn't tweet. He doesn't, like, really do interviews. He just goes to pit row and jumps over the wall when they win, and then sometimes does some questionable things in the victory lane.
But he gets fired up. Gets really fired up for this stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
So
everybody I mean, it's just an incredible story, and I think this is turning into like the NASCAR season I'm going to be locked into the most in a long time.
Okay.
Because of Michael Jordan. So, all right.
Well
that's
said.
Number 3. And I'm glad you brought up the North Carolina coaching search, Connor, because at number 2, Brad Stevens. It is Brad Stevens.
The team, Brad Stevens.
It is Brad Stevens' season. Number 1, the Celtics are rolling. The Celtics, their best player, tore his Achilles. Didn't think they're going to have him all year. Comes back. Jason Tatum is now back playing for the Celtics. The Celtics, I believe, are the 2 seed in the NBA. Is that correct, Connor?
I think so.
The Celtics are having a season that, like, frankly, was supposed to be a throwaway season and get ready for next year. And now all of a sudden, the Celtics might win the East. But beyond that, the North Carolina job is open. Bill Self is hinting at possibly retiring. He's kind of downtrodden in the press conference after they lose to St. John's. Asked about his future. He said, I'm going to talk to the family. People are speculating he might step down at Kansas. Meanwhile, Kentucky fans want to fire Mark Pope. This is setting up to be one of the greatest coaching carousels or coaching vacancies in the history of college basketball if all 3 of those jobs open. And when blue blood jobs open, what happens, Connor? What happens?
Call Brad Stevens.
Yeah, call Brad
Stevens. Make
Stevens.
him say no.
It is Brad Stevens' season. Brad Stevens' name out in the news again. He is America's team. He's America's team. You need a coach, you call Brad Stevens, you make him say no.
Okay.
Did Wake Up Barstool call, when T-Bob said he was going on vacation, did we call Brad Stevens to host?
Should have. Definitely would have done a better job.
Make him say no.
You have to make Brad Stevens say no.
Okay. Well, without further ado, That was number 2. We now go to number 1. Titus, America's team, number 1 in the power rankings.
Number 1 in the power rankings, Darius A. Cup Jr. Darius,
It's not a team.
what?
He is the team.
He is the whole team.
What is your
quite literally the whole team.
Quite literally the whole team.
You're right.
I said on this show a week ago that I believe that Darius A. Cup might be John Calipari's best college guard he's ever coached, and I want to take that back. I'm taking the might back. The might is gone. He is. He's the best college guard that John Calipari's ever coached. It upset a lot of people. I think in the week since, if you're still upset by that, you haven't been paying attention to what he's doing. Now, people want to nitpick, and they want to say he doesn't play defense. He doesn't want to. When you average 30 points a game in the month of March and 8 assists a game, I don't care. If you literally don't go back on defense at all and you just stay on the offensive end, I would be fine with that. The numbers he is putting up in this run of March, it'll make your head spin. And he's doing it with efficient numbers as well. Like he's shooting 50. In the month of March, he's shooting 51% from the three-point line. It's not like he's just a chucker. It's insane what he's doing. A lot of work to be done in terms of like getting this team to a national championship. You know, like the road ahead is not easy. I'm not like prematurely crowning Arkansas or anything, but I have not had this much fun watching an individual player. I mean, Walter Clayton last year was a ton of fun, and Darius Acuff, I don't know. It's like he's just taking it to another level in terms of carrying a team. I've never seen anything like it.
Ty Praise, number 1 in the power rankings, and according to you, one of the most talented guys we've ever seen in college
according
basketball.
to you, Connor.
According to me, I'm
Why don't you
locked
share with
in.
the people how you feel about Darius Acuff?
I texted Mark. I might have had a couple beers in me on Saturday night, and I was like, I'm all in on Acuff. The dude's aura is unmatched.
Does have aura.
He's and he just signed with Reebok. You know, Allen Iverson.
The aura is
that whole
unbelievable.
pipeline and
He's
everything.
shooting up draft rankings. And I don't think this Arkansas team's very good, but that actually adds to why I like Acuff
Legacy
so
game
much.
tonight.
Yeah.
He beats Arizona tonight.
Hey,
Crazy.
I want to get to that after the break, too. We do have to cut to one, but we will be talking a bunch of March Madness. Hell of a power rankings. That was dope. Appreciate you guys for tuning in to Wake Up Barstool. It was dope. I like the ending. You sold me. Originally, I was like, Acuff and Stevens. You sold me on it right there.
Dope rankings.
Thanks, Connor.
Sweet 16 preview coming up next. So keep it locked on FS1.
Dope
Plenty to
rankings,
talk
bro.
about.
It's dope.
It was
Thanks,
super
bro.
dope. You guys are dope at home, too, for tuning in. Stick around. We are back. Wake Up Barstool, FS1, Thursday. Thanks for joining us. It's obviously college basketball, March Madness, Sweet 16, everything. We're heating up. It all is just coming together today. We had, 3 days off? And it was just long. We were starving for more basketball. We get it tonight. I don't know if we have it ready to go, but there is the draft that we did.
Oh, okay.
Each crew, each day, we had to pick.
What do the gray logos mean?
It means they're done.
Oh,
they are out of the
Why
tournament.
why does Thursday not have any gray logos?
It means that you guys have picked
Oh.
all your teams correctly. They're still in
But
the
all
field.
the other
wait.
days though, they have teams that are out,
Yeah.
but we don't.
So each day they
Who's on
picked
Wednesday?
a tier 1 school. Yeah, we don't have to talk about it. They picked a tier 1 school, tier 2 school, tier 3, tier 4, and now they have each of their rosters of their respective schools.
Is this like golf, like the lower number?
No, it's actually the higher number.
The higher
wins.
number's better. So we're in first place.
So far, the Thursday
okay.
crew,
Okay.
their tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and tier 4 schools are still all in play. I am typically just on the Wednesday crew. Clearly, we are not having the best luck. Duke, our only team remaining, we are dead last. But who knows? Anything could change today, tomorrow, and we'll see where we go from here. But congrats to you guys so far. You guys are having one heck of a tournament. So
Thanks,
it's
Connor.
pretty sweet. Yeah, I'm jealous, very jealous. But we shift our focus now to tonight.
I mean, Titus, I guess the one downside is we are guaranteed to lose one team because 2 of our teams are playing each other in the Sweet
that is
16,
true.
which
Yeah.
nobody else has because they've already lost all their
Yeah,
teams.
they've already lost
Yeah.
their teams. Eventually, our teams. We did this before the bracket came out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, if we would have done this after the bracket, we would have just.
We'd probably
would have picked the
had the Final Four.
Yeah, we would have.
Maybe. We'll also credit Tennessee. People were sleeping on Tennessee coming into this, and now
Not this guy.
Not Titus. Titus believed.
Huh? Yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah.
did all year.
Yeah. Thank you.
You believe.
four straight Sweet 16s.
Titus is an honorary VFL.
Love that. Okay. That's actually, that's big time.
High praise.
We now shift our focus to tonight. 4 games, Texas, Purdue, Iowa, Nebraska, Arkansas, Arizona, and then Illinois, Houston. I guess we could also expand it just to the next 2 days. What's the game this Sweet 16 that you guys are most looking forward to?
The one I'm most looking forward to is tonight is Illinois-Houston, and the reason I'm looking forward to it the most, I think it's the only game that actually has two teams that I think could win the national championship. I think of the Sweet 16 games. I believe that both of these teams are national title good. Now, they're not favorites. I think that they're going to have to play at their best to beat some of the one seeds. I do think it's still like a top-heavy bracket despite Florida losing. But Illinois and Houston, incredible talent on both sides, on both teams. Illinois has been playing out of their mind recently in this tournament, scoring the basketball. When their offense is rolling, it is the best in the country. Houston has been like a team that is kind of under the radar, weirdly enough, even though they're a 2 seed that played in the national championship last year. There's been a lot of talk about how good the 1 seeds are and that we expect a chalky bracket. But Houston is playing in Houston. I think the defensive issues, which issues is overstating it, but we're so used to seeing a Houston team that it is impossible to score on them. And this year in college basketball, Houston at times was not that. They sort of have become that. Like their defense is they have one of the best defenses in the country. Their offense is full of scorers. They're not a perfect team. I don't think this is the best Houston team that Kelvin Sampson has ever had, but I do think that they are good enough to win the national championship. So that's why this game tonight, I think, is the best game of the entire slate, only because you have two teams that I think have realistic shot to win the national championship.
This slate is loaded. I mean, you've got the Corn Bowl with Iowa, Nebraska. You've got the best player in ACUF against the best team in Arizona. You've got Tom Izzo versus Hurley. You've got the Rico Bosco versus Dave. My favorite one is St. John's against Duke, first game tomorrow night. St. John's is one of the hottest teams in the country, and their press gets after guards. Duke's weak at the guard position right now, down in injury. So I don't know. Duke's the number 1 overall seed, but I could see a world where St. John's press affects Duke and their physicality gets to them.
Okay. Obviously, you guys both from Mostly Hoops, or you guys are going to be live after.
We'll be live,
tonight, right?
after both nights. Arkansas, Arizona, I just got done glazing Darius Acuff, and he's the most fun player to watch in this tournament. And I believe Arizona's the best team in this tournament. I'm not sure I'm anticipating a great game tonight. I think Arizona is considerably better than Arkansas, and their defense will give Arkansas enough problems that Arkansas is not going to be able to guard them on the other end. But it's going to be a fun game to watch. I think that's going to be a very exciting game full of highlights that Arizona wins by 12.
Credit to the schedule makers. It feels like, not that it's a bad game, but Texas-Purdue is the JV game of the entire bunch. Get it out of the way early, and then we just start playing the varsity.
I'll tell you, you said credit to the schedule makers. These times.
Times are brutal.
And they say 10-10, Mark. That's going to be 10-40.
You're exactly right. Yeah. Yeah.
What would you do, Big T? What was your
play the first games at 6?
Fair.
Move them back an hour.
Do you have a game that you're locked in on? I know the times aren't.
Yes,
great,
I do.
What exactly are you looking
have
into?
a game I'm locked in on, and that is the final game. The University of Tennessee is playing in the Sweet 16. I will be pretty locked into that.
I mean, aside from that, but yeah, that is obviously a massive one. But 10-10 Eastern.
And it's going to be 10-40. It's a nightmare.
How are you feeling about that matchup, though? You confident?
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Joshua Jefferson banged up. Could be good for us. Might be better if he tries to play, Mark.
Oh,
that's what people are talking about. They're talking about, is he going to be able to go? I think it might be better if he tries to.
He tries to play. He plays through it. And it just doesn't have.
Hurts his team.
The explosiveness.
Yeah.
Has no bounce.
So either way, I've talked to myself, and if he doesn't play, great. If he plays, he's not at 100%.
Big T, as you know, I believe in this Tennessee team.
Yep.
I think the way Tennessee now Miami of Ohio. I don't mean to revisit the Miami of Ohio discussion and were they good or
I'd revisit
it or whatever. But I did think it was impressive how you say Rick Barnes likes to throw out a bunch of big guys, and then
he does.
The fear maybe going into the Miami game was that they stretch you out and they're shooting threes and hitting everything, and now you have Felix Akpar running around the perimeter trying to keep up with these guards that are just bombing threes. I don't think it was a problem at all, obviously.
No, they had no chance to guard those guys.
The defense from Tennessee right now is awesome.
Picking it back up.
It's crazy. And the side, you rebound like crazy. I think Iowa State, what I'm saying is Iowa State's shooting is, Iowa State is better than you guys. There's no question about that. But
we'll see. That's why they play the games, Mark.
That's what I was about to
why we
say,
play
Big
the
T.
game.
I was about to say that, but we first have to start with the understanding that they are a better team.
Without Jefferson? This is why they play the games. I don't.
Mark, what I don't think you're getting is that this is why they play the game.
Yeah, is Florida
That's why they play
is Florida a better team than Iowa?
Yes.
Okay, right. So that's what I'm saying. Is Iowa State is a better team, but I like this matchup for Tennessee.
Okay.
And I think that you guys could beat Iowa State is where I was going. That's where I was going with
Look
it.
at that.
But,
Look at
like,
that.
First, like I think it's okay to go into the game and say that Iowa State is a better team.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah. I'm all locked in on.
It is.
It's tough.
Like a miner.
Thursday morning, yeah.
Like I'm just like deep in the mine trying to dig it out of him. You know? Like,
I'm locked in on Arizona, Arkansas, just for ACUF. But as a Barstool employee, gotta be Alabama, Michigan tomorrow night. I will be tuning into that for sure. Not just that, but the stream that they're going to be doing in New York City with all the Pick Central guys and everything. Very excited to see how that all shakes
so
out.
the thing about
gonna be very
the
stressful.
thing about Bama, Michigan, the spread is 10.5, which suggests that like Michigan's way better, and they are. They're a better team. They've been a better team all year. Spreads with Bama don't ever make any sense. Like 10.5 might as well just be a pick 'em because like Bama, if Bama's hitting threes, they could absolutely beat Michigan. And if they're not, they could lose by 20. And it's like the variance with what you get out of Alabama is so wild that I think that like if you're a Michigan fan, you should obviously feel confident. Michigan has been dominant at times this year and is a 1 seed for a reason. But you know, if the Alabama that played against Texas Tech shows up against Michigan, I will not be one iota surprised if they pull off this upset. Not even a little bit.
If I'm Rico Bosco, if it's a 10.5 point spread and one team is significantly better and they play the same style, that feels like 1,000,000 points. My point is, Alabama, as a 10-point underdog, shoots so many threes, gets up and down so fast that they're big dogs in this game. They absolutely can win this game. He has a legitimate chance at doubling his salary for 10 years, Mark.
Yeah.
10 years.
Those are the stakes. But we're here talking about Michigan being such a great team and they're huge favorites and everything. According to Tate, they're not a great team, though, because Tate has them dead last, ranking all these Sweet 16 teams. They're number 16.
Well, they came to me yesterday and they said, Tate, we need you to rank the remaining Sweet 16 teams. And so, unbiased, I went down my list. I think Arizona, #1 team in the country. I think Duke, a little bit injured, but still right up there. And as I whittled down my list, I don't know what to say. I mean, Michigan's my 16th best team in the country. And that's no troll whatsoever, especially to the Michigan fans online that are wondering how they could possibly be below Michigan State when they beat Michigan State 3 times this year.
That was then, though, and this is now. Is that what you're saying?
I was also curious about Tennessee being below Alabama, who they beat, Houston, who they beat. You know.
Well, I eyeball tested Alabama when they were here at the United Center against Illinois. They won the game.
Yeah.
So, and that's where I'm at.
In early November.
Again, I don't know what to do.
This is here. This is now.
When
You
did
know, we're
Tennessee
talking
beat
about
Houston?
early November.
That was late November. That's where you're mistaken.
What else have you gotten pushback on this list for?
I have Illinois higher than I think most people do, and I just said that Alabama won that game, but I think Illinois is a team that if they can beat Houston in Houston, that 3-4 matchup on my list, I think the winner tonight is then going to be highly expected to make the Final Four and can absolutely win a national championship.
St. John's is fascinating to me because they've won. I don't know what the numbers are, like 15 of 16 or something like that. I'm guessing. But the one they lost was by 1,000 points to UConn. And they don't have a ton. Like, they're a 5 seed because they don't have a ton of high-quality wins. But anyone that's, like, locked in on St. John's the last couple weeks, they are playing like a team that could maybe win the national championship. But if you watch St. John's all year, like, the story of them for the first part of the season was they were kind of the biggest disappointment in college basketball. They had a roster, the transfer portal, they get all these transfers, these big name transfers. Rick Pitino obviously had a great first season with St. John's last year, and there was a lot of optimism going into this year. They were disappointing out of the gate, and then they start rattling off wins, but it was against a bunch of lesser Big East teams. And I guess what I'm saying is, like, I'm still not entirely sure how good St. John's is. I'm still not entirely sure because, like, Kansas isn't that great. They played Kansas, like they were kind of winning that game comfortably. They almost choked it away. I'm very excited for the Duke St. John's game because really I don't know what to expect out of St. John's. I think they're a team that has won a ton of games, but then you know the one game they did lose was they looked like they didn't belong on the same court as UConn.
Right. But hey, if Rick Pitino's able to make it through this and then make it through the winner of UConn, Michigan State, and then make it to the Final Four, we'll see exactly what happens. But definitely would be a historic run. We're going to put a pin in some March Madness. We're going to get back to it in a little bit. But first, we got to wrap up hour one with Big Tease, Big Tease. So keep it dialed. We'll be back on Wake Up Barstool on FS1. Good morning, everybody. We are back, wrapping up hour one of Wake Up Barstool right here on FS1. He does it every week. It's Big Tease, Big Tease.
Tee 'em up.
Big T. What are we looking at on the slate?
All right, gang. We did the college basketball Big T's last week. We did 15 games. We went 12-3. So this weekend we only have 8 games. There's 9 picks because there's one game I really like too. So we went 12-3. We can go 9-0. All right, Tate. First one, Purdue money line against Texas. Texas, talented team, good story, but the 11 seed I don't think makes it to the Elite 8. Purdue's been playing really good basketball recently. Iowa, what is that? Plus 8.5? I have terrible eyesight. We got to make that bigger.
8.5.
Plus Nebraska. I think Iowa might win that game by like 10 points.
Whoa.
Arkansas plus 15.5 against. I can't see this, guys.
Arizona. We got it on the big board right
Okay,
there.
thank you.
We got it in the
Arkansas
studio.
plus 15.5 against Arizona. Arizona will win, but Acuff's going to score 40 points, so they'll keep it pretty close. Duke money line against St. John's. Everyone's hot on St. John's right now, Mark. Everyone's talking about St. John's. They could have lost to Kansas, who played one of the worst games I've ever seen. I don't think St. John's has the horses for
By the way, I looked it up in the break. They won 21 of 22. It's just that the one they lost was
by 30.
Yeah,
I think that might happen tomorrow. Michigan State plus 10.5 against UConn. That's another game where I think Michigan State might run them out of there.
Wow.
Tennessee, Iowa State over 126.5. I believe the total's 138 or 137. So buying some points there. Michigan money line against Alabama, as we just previously discussed. They're a 10.5 point favorite. And then Alabama, Michigan under 185.5. Surely, that game doesn't get to 96-90, you know, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. The thing about the Big T's, Tate, is that it always looks great.
Yeah, what are you most worried about, Big T? What?
Well, now that I say 96-90, I mean, I just feel like that's going to happen. Tennessee and Iowa State could, it's the totals. Tennessee and Iowa State could have a game where it's 55-52 with a minute left.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
Yeah. So, you know, but all the sides I love.
I like the picks a lot. I would be a little bit nervous. I could see that Arkansas-Arizona game going. Acuff puts the team on his back, and it's an all-time classic game. Arizona's also a much better basketball team.
They are.
And they've been known to blow teams out if they blow teams out.
Right, but they want to play through their bigs. They want to not necessarily get up and down with Arkansas, so I don't think they're going to kill them.
What about Cam Heide revenge game for Texas Purdue, you know?
I just think Purdue's playing really good basketball. They'll contain Swain, and I don't think they lose that game.
I think it looks really good. I think it looks really good. We do, before we go to break, though, that's the Big T's. While we're sticking with Big T, we got to show this clip from the BBA tournament. We're doing this Office League basketball tournament. Take it away, guys, in the truck, if you guys have this clip. This is crazy.
What's this clip?
We have it, yeah.
Big T delivers.
Kelly with a foul.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Yeah, I was trying to contest a shot. Sorry.
I've never seen anything like that. Big T just
Straight up.
struck a woman.
Straight up.
Trucked Kelly.
She was okay.
Look at this.
Disturbing. That was a body.
Hey, that's a play on in the old Big East.
Yeah, I mean,
Like in
listen,
the old Big East.
Still rolling. So
we were at an extreme disadvantage in this game, and you got to let them know that they can't come into your paint like that.
Okay.
Both of you are playing. You're commentating.
Yes. And you're the commish.
And I'm the commish. The BBA, go check it out.
Yeah, for anybody who has not checked it out, it's awesome. YouTube, Barstool Basketball Association. You know who else is awesome? It's Laphonso Ellis. He will be joining us after the break, so stick around. We are talking all things March Madness still right here on Wake Up Barstool. Hour 2 coming up next. What's up, everybody? It is Wake Up Barstool on a Thursday. Hour 2 loaded up. Connor Griffin filling in for Tiababe Bear, Big T, Mark Titus, we got Tate, and now we are pleased to be joined by Fox basketball analyst Laphonso Ellis joining us via Zoom. Laphonso, how are we doing this morning?
Doing really well. It's a little early though, fellas. Can we have the show a little later, maybe 10 to noon or something like that?
Yeah,
Wake Up Barstool.
Yeah, though the rerun is 10 to noon, but
We should move Wake Up Barstool to like 5 p.m.
We had another morning show do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. We did. We'll work on it for next
I see all these different jerseys. St. Louis Cardinals can't get any love.
Not in Chicago.
No, not from a Cubs fan, Laphonso.
Our producer's a Cardinals guy.
I love it. He's got good taste.
Yeah, love it. Well, Laphonso, obviously opening day, Sweet 16 today too. It's a massive, massive sports day. Curious, what game are you most looking forward to? We were just talking about this before the break. What game are you most looking forward to on this Sweet 16 slate?
It's the Illinois-Houston. People have been asking me all year which team outside of the top 7 teams that we've been talking about all year had the best opportunity to get to a Final Four, and I thought it was Illinois. The tallest team in the country. They shoot the 3-ball well, 11 made threes a game. That's either first or second in the Big Ten. And David Mirkovic is a 6'9", 250-pound point forward. They're at different times of the game. They have 2 Ivasiches on the floor, 171, 172, and Tommy and Big Z. And this is a team that they push it in transition. They can play in a half-court game. Keaton Wadler has come out of nowhere, not highly recruited because he didn't really play on a big-time travel ball team, and he's availed himself as possibly one of the top 10 picks in this year's NBA draft as a rookie. He's got the 3-ball mid-game. He finishes with either hand around the rim, and at 6'6", anytime a double team comes, he's able to see over the top of it and get it moving. However, they're playing against a Houston team today that will be the most physical team that they played against all year. And this Houston team, with their ability to be able to shoot it from the three-point line, Milan Uzan has had a terrific year, transferred 2 years ago from Oklahoma. They shoot the basketball well. JoJo Tugler, 6'9", a 7'6" wingspan. And anytime that basketball goes into post and they double team, they run what they call monster. 2 big dudes with long arms, double teaming the basketball. How well can Illinois pass that basketball out of the post, not turn it over, and ignite the transition game of the Houston Cougars? I think Illinois is tall enough to be able to battle on the glass. They're an outstanding offensive rebounding team, but this is a very, very different Houston team that can really shoot the basketball. Kingston Flemings is another one of those guards that we talked about all year long that's likely going to be a lottery pick as well for Houston. So this is a really intriguing matchup of 2 teams who really offensive rebound the basketball well, 2 teams that can shoot it. Illinois is a better shooting team, in my opinion, and I'm just intrigued by the physicality. I think the question is going to be 2 things. Who rebounds the basketball the best, and how is this game going to be called? Are the referees going to be a little loose with it and let them play a physical brand of basketball? If they do that, that benefits Houston. If they're going to call it a little more tightly, then that's going to benefit Illinois because they're going to be able to get to the foul line.
How much weight do you put in this game taking place in Houston, Laphonso? I think it's something that, like, those of us that are just on the couch and we notice these things, we're like, oh, that's unfair, that's crazy, that's a huge swing for Houston. But then I think about, like, the Missouri-Miami game was in St. Louis, and people pointed that out, that it's like, that's an unfair advantage for me, and then Miami just won the game, you know?
Yeah.
But, so, like, do you think that even matters at all? Is that on your radar at all, that this game is taking place in Houston?
As a competitor, I wouldn't be mindful of it necessarily because you're on the road, your fans are traveling there as well, and you're somewhat aware of it. But again, the stakes are so high, and I love Coach Brad's response the other day when someone asked him about it. Brad Underwood, that is head coach of the Illinois Fighting Illini. He said, "Does it bother you at all that you're playing essentially a road game in Houston's backyard?" He said something to the effect of, I coached in the JUCO. We were taking buses here and there. We didn't have the ability to be able to fly. He said to have a chartered plane, be able to fly down to Houston, stay in a really nice hotel. I don't think my guys will be worried about it too much. And so my issue with it is the Illinois, with this group that they have, with the exception of Kylan Boswell, is not super experienced in terms of NCAA play. this Houston team with what they return is. And I think that's where the advantage is going to be for Houston. So if it's close in the last 5 minutes of the game, I think it'll be the lack of experience in terms of NCAA play for Illinois that allows Houston to be able to prevail, not necessarily that they're playing in their backyard.
Interesting.
Laphonso, I want to talk about the Arkansas-Arizona game. So Acuff has probably been the best player in the country so far this tournament.
Yes.
Arizona's probably the best team in this country. Does Acuff have enough to beat that team of Arizona by himself?
Not by himself. Jalen Bradley is likely going to draw that matchup because he typically guards the best perimeter player on the opposing team. And what's unique about Jaden Bradley, I'm sorry. So I told you guys it's a little early.
You're all good.
Jaden Bradley. But just the sheer size that Arizona has and their ability to be able to get seconds when they miss shots, the speed in which they play. As you guys know, they're not super dependent on the three-point line. They shoot just above about 35% from three, but not on a lot of volume. Where they crush you is they play with great pace, getting out in transition, open up the floor. Now you got guys trailing like Braden Burries, who's been another revelation as a freshman who can knock down the three ball. And their bigs run to the front of the rim and sit right. The Krivas is so good at that. He sprints to the front of the rim and just sits in the front of the rim. And as a defensive player, you have to decide. You're in no man's land. You have to decide if you want to play at the back or if you're going to play on the side and play in the front. Either way, they're getting it to him inside. And so Darius Acuff, it's been interesting because Cam Boozer and he's so worthy of it. I think he sucked up all of the air in terms of top freshmen in the country. And not a lot of people know about Darius Acuff. And we've been preaching about this dude all year long. He goes on as a freshman to be the SEC Player of the Year and the SEC Rookie of the Year. And about 2 weeks ago, before the tournament began, you start to get those questions about who's that one guy that's going to have almost like a Kemba Walker type experience in the NCAA tournament. Every single time I went back to Darius Acuff, and he is having an outstanding year. And what people didn't know about him coming in, they knew about his speed, his quickness, his pull-up game, his ability to get to the front of the rim. But people didn't realize that he's a pretty good three-point shooter as well. But his bread and butter, he loves to get to the front of the rim, and you're not going to be able to do that against Arizona, who's just so stinking tall. And so that advantage clearly goes to Arizona.
Laphonso, you mentioned Cameron Boozer there, obviously Duke's best player. Are they going to turn it on again? Because Siena obviously pushed him to the brink. Yeah. TCU gave him a game. And I feel like, and they're obviously, they have injury problems going into this game with St. John's, and everyone loves St. John's. Yeah. Are they going to turn it on again, or have they kind of lost a step without Foster and...
Sure. Yeah. The problem that Caleb Foster missing him presents for this Duke team is Caleb Foster was a 40% three-point shooter on pretty good volume. Now, as good of I call him Little Boozer, as good of a year as Caden Boozer has had stepping in to fill that void, Caden's not nearly the jump shooter that he is. And so what that allows the defense to do is to really crowd that lane a bit. And if you look back at that TCU game, now we talk about teams that turn teams over. TCU does that. TCU forced 17 turnovers on Duke the other night, and they were able to narrowly escape that game. Playing against St. John's is a completely different deal. They have positional size, length, athleticism. They pound the offensive glass. And so if Duke turns that basketball over the way they did to St. John's, the way that they did to TCU, then all of a sudden St. John's is going to win this game. But Cam Boozer has been absolutely sensational in my view. Starting at about the third month of the season, I think he separated himself as the national player of the year without a doubt. And isn't that interesting? 2 years in a row, the Duke Blue Devils produced as freshmen the national player of the year. Cooper Flagg last year, and this year is going to be Cam Boozer. But I think that's going to be a phenomenal matchup between Duke and St. John's. Can Duke make enough threes? Because remember, now all of a sudden, this is Rick Pitino now. And he's outstanding at preparing his teams for battle. And I guarantee you one of the things he's going to do is make Dame Sarr, who's not a good three-point shooter for Duke, prove that he can win the game by making 7 or 8 threes. And if Duke's not able to make the three ball, then I think St. John's walking away with a 1-point win in this one.
Wow. Duke is, as you just said, susceptible. I think Michigan in the Big Ten tournament did not look great against Purdue. Arizona keeps chugging along, but they have a lot of close games. So my question, Laphonso, on Selection Sunday, a lot of the talk, I was certainly saying this, a lot of other voices in college basketball were saying this as well. It feels like
love the Cardinals?
Yeah, no, we're not saying that. I promise you that. We were anticipating maybe a chalky tournament. We obviously last year got 4 1 seeds to the Final Four. It's only the second time that ever happened. And there's a lot of anticipation that might happen again this year just because the 1 seeds felt like they were a lot better than the rest of the field. So my question to you, now that Florida has gone down, Iowa's pulled the upset of Florida. Now we have an 11 seed Texas, and there's a lot of talk of no Cinderellas, yada, yada, yada. The Sweet 16 gives us a chance to calm down, take a deep breath. As you're looking at this bracket and how these teams are playing, do you feel like the idea that this might be a chalky Final Four, or when the dust settles on this tournament, it's going to be chalky? Do you feel like we're still headed towards that? Or do you think it's now setting up to maybe an Iowa can go on a Final Four run? Maybe Texas has something to say. Maybe Tennessee gets out of the Midwest. What is your feeling on that?
Yeah, it's interesting because it's always funny how chalky is defined, right? And most of the people who are talking chalk are usually the people who are really beating their chest and going, hey, we need to make sure we maintain our Cinderella. Now, as an analyst, I'm invested at 2 levels. I'm invested at the analyst level, but I'm also invested at what's best for our game globally. And what we've learned is for the first weekend, the viewers love the Cinderella story, but when the Sweet 16 begins, they want to see the big boys, and the numbers prove it because all of a sudden you start to get the San Diego States of the world getting into a Final Four, the FAUs get into a Final Four, and all of a sudden the viewership wanes at that level. And so I think it's good for our sport to see all of these big quality names that we have here that are in the Sweet 16. And to your point, Nebraska handled Iowa pretty well in the regular season, but as you know, it's hard to beat a team 2 and 3 times in a year. Now, the problem that Nebraska creates for Iowa moving forward is Nebraska really floods the lane. So any dribble penetration to the baseline side or any post-ups that you get, that doubling from the baseline side, and then they flood the lane. So the only opportunity you have is a skip pass, and that's problematic for Iowa because Iowa's off-ball offensive movement is superb. And Bennett Sturts, man, one of the best stories in all of college basketball. A guy who was an outstanding ball player at the D2 level. People question if he would be able to step up to the D1 level. He did such a phenomenal job at Drake, and all of a sudden he transitions to yet another level at Iowa, and many people are talking about him being a first-round pick. So does Iowa have a shot? I'd say yes, only because it's hard to beat a team a second and a third time, but this Nebraska team really does take away all of your off-ball action, and that's problematic for Iowa. But I like the fact that we have all these big brands because now you get people who ordinarily maybe not necessarily invested in college basketball. They look up and see these names and they're like, oh yeah, I'm turning that one on and I want to watch it. So overall, I think it's good for the game. But Sean Miller's done a great job at Texas. I didn't have them advance and beyond, but they've run into a Purdue team that I think has way too much size. And man, Braden Smith. Who would have thought that? I mean, Bobby Hurley set that record. It looked lofty. Nobody would ever be able to take it down. And here we are in 4 years. Braden Smith has done just that. And how has he been able to do it? Because every single year he's been part of that program, they've made a deep run.
Well, Laphonso, you touched on big brands there for a second. Shifting away from the tournament, a team that is a big brand that's no longer in the tournament, the UNC job obviously just opened up. Your thoughts on that, maybe its place among the top jobs in college basketball? Yeah. And also, do you think it's going to just unleash a whole row of dominoes in this crazy coaching carousel that we might be about to embark upon?
Well, it's been fascinating because, as you guys know, the last couple of days we've been hearing rumors that all of a sudden Bill Self was going to retire. Mm-hmm. And now we're losing these legendary coaches from these monster blue blood programs, and UNC obviously being one of those. And a lot of people felt that Hubert Davis should have gotten another year, having gone obviously to the national championship game 3-4 years ago now, but that wasn't in the cards. The question for them is, from what I understand from the outside, they have some NIL issues, and part of that's driven by they decided to pay their football coach a heck of a lot of money.
Yeah, yeah.
and that's impacting it. And so they won't necessarily have the treasure chest to offer some big name coach to bring in. But a guy who I have my eye on is TJ Otzelberger has done an outstanding job at Iowa State. You know, that's not a school that's got huge NIL. He's done a phenomenal job of going out and bringing in the right pieces. And every single year he's been in that program, they've made it to the NCAA tournament. This is a team today that has today, I forget if they play today or tomorrow, but has an opportunity to advance to an Elite Eight because all of a sudden their best player, Joshua Jefferson, who sprained his ankle badly in that first round game, is now back. And we don't know how he'll be able to play. Will he be the same? A triple-double threat at 6'9", 240 pounds? We don't know. But TJ Otzelberger, if you're a program out there, a big-name program, and your NIL is not what you think it should be, and it's going to be a bit limited, and you may not be able to pay a dude a high-end dollar, but you can give him a phenomenal atmosphere to play in. You can make sure that the players who are coming in are getting like a high level experience in your program, and a guy who's shown the ability to be able to manage a little amount of money but be able to do a lot. Then I think I would not hesitate to give TJ Otzelberger a call.
Laphonso, could not agree with you more. It would be a shame if Iowa State was distracted tomorrow night with their coach. All these rumors that would I don't want that. But I agree with you that he's got to take the call. It's North Carolina, you know.
Oh, it's unbelievable. And he's shown to be able to do it with limited resources, and that to me is a skill.
There should be a rule that you can't lose your football coach and basketball coach in the same season, though. Like Iowa State losing the football coach to Penn State and then the basketball, that would be devastating.
Guilty.
Yeah, I agree.
It would.
Big T, big time Tennessee guy over here. So yeah,
it'd be a shame.
It would be a shame.
Yeah. Who's the Tennessee guy?
Big T right here.
Big T, you're the Tennessee guy. Gotcha.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
He would love it if Otzelberger.
It would be a shame. I don't want that. I want all our guys.
Sorry.
I want the team's best on best, you know. But
no, I got you.
Them's the breaks.
Yeah, I wouldn't want them to lose both either. But you asked me who would be the best possible coach for that. I love dudes who can do a lot with little, and he's demonstrated the ability to be able to do that. 4 straight years now, and man, what he's done with that program has been just amazing. And I think he would be, in terms of character, in terms of ethics, in terms of being able to manage a little and do a lot with it. I just think you can't go wrong with TJ Otzelberger. I think he'd be a phenomenal fit there.
They won 2 games before he got there.
Yeah, it's very true.
Two.
Laphonso, can't thank you enough for joining the show. This was awesome. Also, a phenomenal bookshelf behind you. I have to point that out. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Have a great rest of your day. Happy Sweet 16.
Oh, thank you so much, guys. I'm always honored to be on. Blessings to you and your family.
Awesome. Well, that's Fox basketball analyst Laphonso Ellis. We are so excited to have him on. Hopefully, we could get him back. But first up, we do have to talk some NBA. Sticking with basketball. We're going to be talking about that after the break. So stay tuned. We're live from Chicago. Look at that view. Chicago, Illinois. Wake Up Barstool on FS1.
We seen a cameraman to the Sears Tower?
Yeah, a little bit. We're talking hoops. Wake Up Barstool. Not college this time around. NBA, the association, which I know, Big T, you love. And
yeah, it's my favorite. I watch every game. I don't miss a game.
We were talking in the break about who the number 1 seed in the East was, because obviously the Celtics, we pointed out, were number 2.
It's got to be the Pistons, right? Still? No, is it the Celtics for 2?
It's definitely the Pistons.
It would be the Detroit Pistons. Yeah.
Do you know that?
No. And
that's totally
which
fair.
is weird because I watch every game, but I don't keep up with the standings and everything, you know.
Yeah. Well,
just live in the moment.
Every game is its own thing to me, you know. I appreciate the beauty.
The Celtics have definitely been catching up. Jaylen Brown had 31, 8 and 8 last night. He's making a case for MVP, late push. They ended the Thunder win streak. It was 12 games. They hadn't lost in like a month. Celtics come out. They beat them. They get Jason Tatum back. They're now starting to gain some real ground on the Pistons, especially considering the fact that with the Pistons, Cade Cunningham just has a collapsed lung. And I don't know exactly what the timetable is for his return. But then also,
I still can't.
I don't know what that means.
Like, collapsed lung just sounds like
bad.
The worst thing in the world.
Sounds like you should die.
You should never play basketball again if you have a collapsed lung, and yet it does seem like they kind of have it under control, I guess, and it'll be fine.
I don't know how you judge whether you can greenlight somebody to play if they have a collapsed lung. Like, does a How does it get back to normal? How do you know it's back to? I don't know.
That's
very, very strange.
one of the worst things that you could have happen to your lungs. I would say.
Yeah.
Is have them collapse.
I would-
Punctured probably worse.
Yeah.
Is it? I don't know.
Collapse sounds
Collapse
worse.
is worse.
Puncture is
Power
sounds
rank
small hold.
Power rank the
Collapse.
following lung problems.
Yeah. I don't know. Probably yeah. Collapse.
Fluid in your lungs.
Oh, that scares
that
me.
the worst?
That scares me. Yeah, don't even bring that up. But sticking with the league, with the association. Also, the Nuggets had a big win last night. Nikola Jokic is just going off. The past 2 nights, he's combined for 46 points, 38 rebounds, and 36 assists. Just went nuclear. Also, we should point out that Murray had 53 points of his own. So this was a crazy, crazy night in the association.
Quick question.
Those stat lines are insane.
How old
Yeah.
is he?
Yeah.
Jokic?
Yeah.
What is he, 32, 30, I'm going to guess 31 or 32.
If he does this for 5 more years,
31.
31. If he does this for 6 more years,
Yeah.
I mean, is he like one of the best players ever?
I think he already is. But like, what do you mean by one of the best players ever? Like, what? Is
Like,
that top 10? Is that
when
top
I
25?
when I watch every game, as I do,
Correct.
I just
Yeah.
think back to all the basketball I've watched, and like in terms of just size and skill and like everything he can do on the court, he might be the best player I've ever watched.
Yeah, it's insane. He is very good. Yeah.
And I just
he
feel like
scratches the itch for you.
I think people talk about it, but not in the way that it should be.
Yeah.
Well, the question.
That stat line is just as a guy that watches a lot of college basketball. So Donovan Dent in the Big Ten tournament had a triple-double, and it was massive news because it was the first time in a conference tournament, in a power conference tournament, that a guy had a triple-double since like 2003. In any power conference tournament, in any game against any opponent in the power conference. And then they show a graphic, and they were like, this is only like the 6th triple-double in the history of UCLA basketball, which is probably the most storied program going back 10,000 years. All the legends that played there, they had 6 triple-doubles. And then just on a random Wednesday night, Jokic does 23 points, 21 rebounds, and 19 assists. They're 2 completely different sports.
It's absurd. And the debate now is, will Jokic reach that 65-game requirement for MVP? He's definitely seemed to be worthy of an MVP, of getting his 4th one, but he might not hit that stupid rule that the NBA.
What, does he got to play every game from here on out?
He's played 58, so he needs 7 more, and they only have 8 games left. So he can miss one, but it would be cutting it close. But that rule is the dumbest thing that they've ever implemented. Of course, they only put it in because Joel Embiid won an MVP, and they said, well, we can't have that happen again. And now there are a bunch of people who can't win MVP. Unfortunate, but that's the bet that they made. They get a lie in it.
I saw that the Mavs were 23-50. How is that possible when they have Luka and Jalen Brunson?
That's a great
And
question,
Cooper
Big T.
Flag.
Great question. Unfortunately, we don't have the
They're
time.
that bad with all those guys?
We don't have the time to answer it. We'll never know. AJ Pierzynski joining us next to talk MLB opening day. We are fired up to have him back on the show. Friend of the program, so stick around. Wake Up Barstool on FS1. We'll be right back. Howdy, folks. Wake Up Barstool, Thursday. We opened the show with this news about, the Telluride Bush guys who we love, our fellow coworkers who are over in England right now. They got into a car crash with their rental yesterday. We have an update. Strictly Ubers from here on out. And Maresh, the guy, nobody said Maresh was driving the car last night. Nobody said it.
Do not blame Maresh.
But he is one of the suspects. He is in the passenger seat, of course, this being in England, so the passenger seat is.
Yeah, does he know that?
side.
Or does he think he's in the driver's seat?
I don't know. You get your wires crossed a little bit like that, but I would be terrified to do. Oh, we got the video. There's a video. Uber.
All right.
I'd be terrified to do anything in England like this, where, I'm just going to go rent a car and
Now, hang on a second.
try and drive.
That looks like it's the right side of the road.
And why do they do this?
Does it
by
not?
the way?
Hold on. Look at this video.
No, you're right.
Why is wait.
Yeah,
Is
just
it
hold
just
on.
one
Hold
way?
on. Time out.
It might
Wait.
be a one-lane road.
Yeah, obviously, Connor.
Well, I'm just saying.
It gets past this guy.
Obviously, I was.
I don't know about the overall geography of how this all works.
Why do they do the left side of the road thing, by the way?
Why can't we agree on it?
Is there a reason for that?
And while we're at it, why does the water in the toilet go the opposite way?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Connor.
I'm gonna guess. Can I guess? Can I give you an answer that's probably not true, but it's just a fake true answer? It goes back to the days of the knights when you would joust, and a lot of knights were right-handed, and so they would ride as you're jousting. You would ride on this side so you could have your your lance. Is that what it was called?
Believe?
And you would joust, so they would pass each other going this way. I don't know. It's just
That's exactly right.
I thought you were.
I was
best
with you.
explanation I could come up with.
I was with you for a good bit there. And now with us is actually AJ Pierzynski, who's joining us. How about that?
What a segue.
Look
Great-
at this.
great
What are the
segue.
odds? We got AJ Pierzynski joining us. He's in the full White Sox gear, Fox Sports MLB analyst. AJ, what's the vibes today? You got to be loving life.
Well, I wasn't after that idiot Cub person just said that the reason that they drive on the wrong side of the road is because of the nights. Have you guys never been to medieval times at any point in your life? Like they're on the same side we drive on.
Oh, are they?
Yeah. Have you never been to
Wait.
medieval times?
But how do they? So are they left-handed jousts or they go cross-body with the joust?
I've never really paid that much attention. I just know the one on the far, whatever side you're sitting on, the far side is always on the right if they're running. So if they're running, it would be they're good like
I'll be
this.
damned.
Titus, I do think it is. I do think they go across.
Maybe you're
'cause
too
you have
busy
your
eating
shield
the-
here. You have your shield on the inside, so then they
Yeah.
come
Oh,
across.
I'll be honest. When I woke up
there you go.
when I woke up this morning, I did not think I would be on national television talking jousting with AJ Pierzynski.
That's why we bring him
Here we
on.
are.
That's why we bring on Fox Sports MLB analyst AJ Pierzynski. AJ, shifting now to MLB, and maybe we could get back to medieval times in a little bit. What's the biggest storyline that you're looking forward to this year, just across the entire league? Anything you're picking at?
Well, I mean, first, let's start with can anyone beat the Dodgers? That's obviously number one with the way the season has gone the last couple of years. Can anyone figure out a way to knock the Dodgers out of the postseason? They're going to get to the postseason. They were, the third seed last year? They didn't get a bye. They kind of got a warm-up round against the Reds, and then they just won the World Series again. So can anyone beat the Dodgers? The ABS, we'll see how the ABS goes, which I think is a big storyline. Who gets to use it? We missed the first one last night. I don't know if you guys watched the game, but the Caballero did this last night. We didn't even know if it was a ball or a strike because bad timing on the TV broadcast. But I think who can beat the Dodgers in the ABS? And then the other thing for me is what happens with Tarek Skubal? Are the Tigers just going to let him pitch for a year and then walk? Or are they going to, if they're in it, which they should be, do they try for an extension? Or do they just say, you know what, guys, we're just going to let him walk and take the draft pick?
Oh, you mentioned the ABS, AJ. I'm curious as a player. One of the things that I'm anticipating is guys being selfish with the ABS because this is a system. In most other sports with the replay system, the coach has a say. The coach gets to kind of be the one that gets to decide when we're going to use the challenges we have available to us. Do you anticipate a situation where players are just like lost in the moment and it's not really that big of an at-bat, but like their ego takes hold of them and they want to challenge? Or do you think that this will eventually solve itself and they'll get a talking to if that happens?
Oh, they're going to get a talking to if it happens. Last night, if you watched the game last night, Judge, at one point, there was a pitch that was about right here, and he kind of went, and then he wasn't sure. So if Aaron Judge isn't sure, then how the heck is a 9-hole hitter for certain teams going to be sure and be, right? So it's going to be fascinating. That's going to be one of the fascinating parts of this is who gets to challenge, who doesn't. If I'm a team, I do not let a pitcher ever challenge. It's got to be catcher or batter like that one. I mean, how do you miss that one? But that's, umpire maybe blinked or something. And that's clearly in the strike zone. We saw one the other day. I think it was in a Cardinal game maybe where it was one right down the middle, first pitch, they missed it. But it's going to be fascinating because when you get down to tenths of inches, 0.1 inch, that's just, I want to say it's almost luck at that point, right? Now you get 2-3 inches, like that one we're showing right there, 2.3 inches. Now that's clearly a ball. But when you get down to 0.1 inch, I think it's just pure luck. But yes, who challenges, who's allowed to challenge, and who gets a talking to is going to be a subject.
AJ, good to meet you, Big T. I'm a big Braves fan. I noticed you're not wearing the gear of the best team you played for, but that's okay.
No. Listen, I love the Braves growing up. I was a huge Braves guy growing up. I grew up in here. Look. Here. Does this make you feel better? I'll put this.
Yeah. Yes, it does. Thank you for your service during the dark years.
How's that?
That's awesome.
That's awesome. I love that. I said that to say I know for a fact there are teams in desperate need of starting pitching, mine being one of them. Why does Lucas Giolito not have a job? Is he injured? Is he demanding some insane amount of money?
You're gonna have to. Should I call him and get him on the show?
That'd be great.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think he's injured because he ended the year good last year for the Red Sox. So I don't know why he doesn't have a job. other than maybe he didn't get what he wanted. I don't know. But you know where he'd be a perfect fit? Right here, Braves country.
1,000%.
Right? With all the injuries they have, I almost feel sorry for the Braves the last couple of years because they had this great nucleus of young position players, and then they thought they had a great nucleus of young pitching, and then it's like elbow, shoulder, knee, back, toenail, right? Like, what else can we possibly have that can go wrong for the Braves pitching? It's been weird for the last couple of years. Maybe the Braves sold their soul when they won that World Series a few years ago, but man, it's been hard sledding since.
And I'd do it again. I would have just
Absolutely.
liked to know up front.
Fair.
AJ, all the talks about the Dodgers in the National League and the American League, got the Yankees, the Mariners, the Blue Jays. Who are some teams this year in baseball that you could surprise you and win a pennant?
Well, you kind of here. I'm going to run through my list here. So Phillies, Cubs, Dodgers are in the National League division winners. Yankees, Mariners, Tigers. Honestly, the Mariners to me are the team that I think because of what they did last season and what they did this offseason. I mean, the big teams everyone talks about. The Mariners to me, Guardians. I see your Cleveland shirt. They won't make the move to get to the next level. They have Jose Ramirez, and then it's like, oh, we're going to throw a mishmash of guys in there. Hope the pitching works out. It just never has done it. I think the Tigers could get there because I think the Tigers starting pitching is really good if they get any kind of offense. But if you go Fromberg, Tarek, Skubal, Flaherty, Casey Mize, I mean, that's a pretty good start to a rotation. Their back end's really good with Kenley Jansen and Will Vest, too. So, I mean, listen, the standard names are there, right? The Phillies, if they can stay healthy and they get some offense, are another good one. It's just, to me, again, it just goes back to who can beat the Dodgers. Who can beat the Dodgers? I don't know. Now, listen, I picked the Dodgers and the Mariners in the World Series just because I want the Mariners to finally get there for that fan base. But I don't know if the Mariners, even with their rotation, Cal Raleigh, Julio Rodriguez, that whole crew, has enough to beat the Dodgers. It's going to be fascinating to see. And listen, if I'm betting, I'm not betting on the Dodgers because the money's not good enough. But I don't know how you bet against them.
Yeah, all the talk is the Dodgers, and we are a rings culture, so ultimately we only care about the team that wins it all. But are there teams that stand out to you as like the fans are going to have a fun year because this team is going to be surprisingly good? I'm not saying they're going to win the World Series, but this or that fan base will be surprised. Like the Marlins come to mind last year. I think the Marlins were supposed to be dreadful last year, and then they ended up being about 500. At no point was anybody like the Marlins are going to win the World Series. But they were a fun little surprise. Are there teams like that stand out to you?
Well, I think the A's. The A's, to me, I think are going to be fun to watch because they're going to hit 1 million homers. They're going to score 1 million runs. Now, is their pitching good enough? I don't know. But I think they're going to be fun as hell to watch. And listen, as much as it pains me to say this, I think the Cubs are going to be really good. I love the Alex Bregman signing. I love what their pitching depth that they built with Horton and Boyd and Imanaga and Taillon and Cabrera, right? The list goes on and on. Their bullpen, I love Palencia at the back end of their bullpen. I think they're going to be fun as heck to watch. I really love where the Cubs are at. But to me, if you love offense and you love homers and you love young talent, watch the Sacramento A's because they have those things just in droves. I mean, from Nick Kurtz to Jacob Wilson to Langoliers to Brent Rooker, who, by the way, if you haven't watched Brent Rooker on Twitter and seen him do an interview, it's a great follow.
Okay. Well, AJ, on the topic of just home run hitters, one of the biggest in the game, Aaron Judge, seems to be getting a lot of hate. Like, he's a very hated guy.
The best player on the Yankees is getting hate?
Well, yeah, no, but I'm saying, like,
what?
He's been through a lot of, the World Baseball Classic we could get into where in big moments, people were clowning him because it wasn't showing up. Last night, he strikes out 4 times. Is something off right now with Aaron Judge? I mean, obviously, he's not going to stink this year, but, I mean, what are you seeing about Aaron Judge, and how do you think he rebounds from this weird spell where, yeah, he is getting a lot of public criticism and whatnot?
Are you kidding me? This is like a joke, right?
Come on, Connor.
Your boy on the Phillies. Clown question, bro?
Come on,
I'm just saying.
Oh, no.
Are you kidding me?
It
was one game. I guarantee if you go back in the annals of baseball, Aaron Judge has struck out 4 times in a game somewhere in his career, okay?
I'm just saying.
The World Baseball Classic, they lost 3-2 in the last game.
We're sorry, AJ. He's not our usual
I
host.
apologize.
He's a fill-in.
In terms of the narrative, there's a narrative.
Also, you
right
were
now.
trying to pin it on other people hating Aaron Judge by you yourself saying he's washed after 1 game.
Whoa.
You're trying to present it as like everybody's hating on Aaron Judge. I'm certainly not doing that, but it is interesting, AJ. He does seem to be like he stinks. And he's not.
he's had a rough spell recently.
It's one game, Connor.
No. I'm saying with the World Baseball Classic, and there's already this narrative that he can't show up in big moments and everything like that. What exactly?
Yeah, I'm sorry, AJ.
You know what you sound like? Did you guys watch the pregame last night at all on Netflix?
Unfortunately, yes, I did.
Okay. Did you guys see the Anthony Rizzo interview where him and Judge are like super tight, and he's like, "Man, you get all this hate just for clicks."
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what we're doing right now.
Yeah, this is
I'm
business,
not going to hate on Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge is 3 MVPs. He's way bigger than all of us, so he'll beat all of us up if we make him angry, right? He's a super nice guy.
I'm sorry, AJ. He's new here.
He shows up every day. It's fine. I get it. He's a Phillies fan. He wishes he had him.
Overreacting.
Listen, I'm a White Sox fan. I wish he had him.
Connor, there are 162 games in a season. You can't overreact to one game.
I'm just saying. There's been a lot of momentum swirling around Aaron Judge, and there's narratives, and he's hated on
Connor isn't saying, but some people are saying.
We'll move on from Connor's overreaction.
What do you got?
It's been one game.
It was not about the one game.
It's been one game, Connor. Connor,
happened to be tacked on there. Go ahead.
It's been one game. Now, I want to ask you this, AJ. So Tony Vitello's hired by the Giants. It is like kind of an offbeat hire. He's pulled from college baseball, which is not typically where you turn to when you're hiring a manager. He lost 7-0 last night. Should he be fired?
100%. Yes, 100%. I mean, did you guys see his post-game interview? By the way, I thought it was awesome. I thought the way he handled his post-game interview was incredible. He said, well, you guys can't blame me for that one. Everything stunk, the pitching, the hitting, the defense, the everything, the pregame, the postgame, the in-game, everything stunk. I thought that was an awesome way to handle it. It's one game, and he understands that, and that's great. Now he has a great staff behind him, but no, he shouldn't be. It's going to be, we talked earlier about storylines to watch. Let's see how Tony Vitello does, because this is all new to him. He's never played, coached, managed anything in professional baseball. It's a little longer than 50 games like you have in college.
AJ, we live here in Chicago. PCA has taken over, obviously the Cubs. He's the face of the organization, just signed the big deal. Who can we look for on the South Side as maybe the face or faces of the organization?
Well, let's hope they get a hit the first day, because if not, we might have to get rid of them right away. But listen, I think right now there's two people. I think, I want to see Murakami, how he does, obviously. And then the guy who rocks my number. I mean, this is my jersey, by the way. You guys should try wearing your own jersey. It's kind of cool. But I think Colson Montgomery is the guy who has a chance. Him and Kyle Teal, to me, are what the White Sox fans have to look forward to for the long term. Murakami's there, a 2-year deal. But when you go Teal, Montgomery, you can throw Vargas in there. He improved a lot last year. Maedroth. I think there's a lot to look forward to now. Will they go out at some point and spend the money they need to on pitching? That's going to be the question, especially starting pitching. But for me right now, it's Montgomery and Teal that are the face. But for this year, I just can't wait to see Murakami hopefully hit 40 homers.
Mm-hmm. AJ, I'll try and get back on the right track here with you. We'll end the interview on this. Thank you so much for your time. We had Ryan Dempster on the show the other day, and he was talking about all the home runs that he's given up at Wrigley Field, and he actually gave us this soundbite right here if we want to roll that right now. I want to get your take on this. Ryan Dempster allowed 56 home runs at Wrigley Field. Can you confirm? Does that number seem to be about right?
I'm going to say this right now. I pitched my ass off at Wrigley Field. If I only give up 56 homers in 9 seasons, think about that. That's like quick math, just doing the math. That's roughly about 6 homers a season.
Which one do you think about the most?
You know the answer. You say it on the count of 3. You ready? Yeah. 1, 2, 3. AJ Pierzynski.
Okay, different.
Yeah. Bottom of the 9th or top of the 9th inning. I had 2 out, nobody on, and I gave up a squibbler between my legs. Like I should have come back or should have got it. And then walked Jermaine die. And then I hung a slider. And then AJ's like fist pumping and like he's just like pounding his chest and beer cans are getting thrown on the field. And it was my saddest day ever at Wrigley Field.
I mean, yeah, we were going to ask if you remembered it, but clearly you do. And we have the clip right here.
Do you guys see that? This is the ball. This is the ball. This is the ball that was hit with a ticket stub, by the way. A fan gave this to me.
Wow.
Which is kind of awesome. So listen, Deb and I are good buddies. We've talked about this before. We laughed about it. And by the way, the fist pumping, if you notice, I never fist pumped. I just ran. I might have watched it for a second, but I didn't fist pump. I didn't run. And I barely even flipped my bat, honestly, in today's world. In today's world, I barely flipped my bat. If that would have been the World Baseball Classic, it might have hit who was doing the game for the Cubs back then. I don't know, but it probably would have hit them. But yes, one of my favorite moments, because you see it right there. I got a curtain call on the road. and they rioted at Wrigley Field. And one of probably my all-time favorite regular season home runs, just because of all the things involved. It was the first game at Wrigley after the Barrett fight. So it was the day I found out I was going to make the All-Star team that year. So listen, one of my favorite games of all time. And if we have time, I'll tell you the best part of the whole story. I don't know. Do we have time? 30 seconds real quick?
We got some time. Go ahead.
Okay. So back then, the reporters sat right behind the on-deck circle. So we had Joe Cowley, Scott Merkin, Mark Gonzalez, who were the White Sox beat writers. They thought the game was over. So they're sitting right in the front row, ready to come in the clubhouse. And I looked at him, and I was on deck, and I said, if I get up, I'm going to hit a homer. We're going to win this game. And if you guys know Joe Cowley, who's the Bulls beat writer now, he's like, yeah, you're a fool. You're an idiot, dude. What are you talking about? I'm like, if I get up, I'm going to hit a homer. And then I hit the homer. And then if you watch it, if you run it all the way around, I point at the stands, and people thought I was pointing at a fan. I was actually pointing at Joe Cowley saying, I told you so. I told you so. And so that's one of my all-time favorite regular season homers by far.
Wow.
That's an awesome
Even as a Cubs fan, that watching that back makes me nostalgic for a time when you could hit homers onto Sheffield.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That had to be an awesome
feeling. And when that
feeling.
rivalry meant something.
Yeah.
And that rivalry actually was a big deal. Those 6 games every year when I was at the White Sox were the biggest deal ever. I don't care what anyone says. They were like playoff games, and I lived to go to Wrigley with the White Sox uniform on. Gosh, I loved it.
Love that. Well, yeah, we're stoked to get baseball back here in Chicago. We can't wait for it. AJ, thank you so much for joining us. Well, maybe we could chop it up again sometime soon. I'll work on my questions for next time. we'll get better. But thank you so much for joining us. Happy opening day, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks, guys. Y'all enjoy. Have a great season.
Awesome.
See you, AJ.
Love it. AJ Pierzynski. That is going to be a wrap on that interview. What?
Connor, should you be fired after that
Connor,
interview?
what was that?
Bad question.
It wasn't just about the one game. It was about the World Baseball Classic, and there was a narrative of him not being
this isn't
such
just
guy.
about the one interview.
Whatever. Yeah, it's true. We have one more segment, though. So one more segment, and we'll see exactly what happens after
This
that.
is a huge segment for you.
Yeah, legacy segment for Connor Griffin.
Coming up.
As we get the view of Wrigley Field, wrapping it up. Ask Wub. Hashtag Ask Wub. Last minute questions. Get it in. The college basketball crown is coming. 8 teams, including Oklahoma, Stanford, and Creighton, are headed to Vegas, where they will compete for a $500,000 NIL prize pool. To plan your trip and get your tickets, visit collegebasketballcrown.com. Very excited for that. We also, speaking of college basketball, just got some breaking news in the middle of the break. Breaking news during the break. Will Wade heading back to LSU.
Crazy.
How are we feeling about
Crazy.
the move?
I mean, it makes sense, I guess, but also Will Wade was fired from LSU for NCAA violations. And now he's going back. This is unprecedented, I believe. I don't know that this has ever happened, that a coach has been fired from a program and then rehired later. I don't know. This just feels insane to me, but also I think this makes a lot of sense for a lot of people. LSU has not been the same since he left. But to be honest with you, like they weren't even really that good when he was there. I think it's overstated how good of a run he had at LSU. He made one Sweet 16. They did have like a few seasons where they won 20 games. But yeah, I mean, I'm not exactly stunned that this happened because there's a lot of speculation. I just think like the idea of firing a guy for NCAA violations and then hiring him. I mean, it hasn't even been that many years. How long has it been? Like 7 years? Not even that.
22.
Oh, 22 right there. 4 years. 4 years ago. Crazy.
Wild.
The rules are out the window. There's no rules anymore. Also, big day for Ben Mintz. Ben Mintz claims Will Wade is his boy.
Oh my God, this
Ben
means.
Mintz.
Well, he's the biggest LSU fan we got.
I just realized I'm gonna get cornered in the office like 5 different times today by Mintz.
Oh yeah.
I got it. Oh no.
Avoid that like the plague.
I mean, I will say this makes LSU basketball relevant again, so that's good. I like programs to be relevant. That's always a good thing. But this is just like it's a crazy precedent to set to fire a guy and then hire him back 4 years later.
Amir Khan, boombox guy to LSU.
I guess so.
Potentially. Might happen. We do have some Ask Wub, though, to wrap up the show. Thank you guys for asking your questions. This is from Matt. Morning, guys. Hello. 2-part question. Were the Blue Jays ever in consideration for a spot in Titus's top 5 ranking in America's top teams? And 2, is Aaron Judge already in midseason
You go first
form?
with number 2.
I mean,
And
kind
he
of,
asked that at 7:30, so that was
before.
That was before.
Right.
See? So I'm getting backed up here. This is the narrative that I was talking about.
The
Titus.
Blue Jays were in consideration, but they lost, and we don't do losers in the America's team power rankings. We do winners. Understandable.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the Blue Jays, I did consider it. I consider consider every team. Every team is in consideration.
Okay, what do we got next? From Posa, ask, well, in honor of opening day, what's the second best food item to eat out of a helmet at the ballpark? Ice cream, obviously, number one.
It's nachos. Right?
Nachos,
It's
easy.
got to be nachos. What are
Popcorn you could do.
What are we not putting in helmets that we could?
Soup.
Soup. We need soup. Helmet soup.
I think,
Yeah, I'll do let me get a beer and a helmet soup.
I think soft pretzel nuggets. Get those.
Oh,
with
they
some
do.
beer and cheese. Do they do it in helmets?
Or in a cup or something. Because you know the Yankees, they do those cups within the not a helmet, but the thing that comes out from it. They'll do the tenders in there. They'll do the pretzels.
Yeah. Soft pretzels. Absolutely love them. So that would probably be one of mine. Favorite baseball movie from Matt Hudson from Barstool Huddy.
The most obvious Sandlot answer of all time. No,
Wrong. Actually,
disagree.
bad answer.
Yeah, I don't
Sandlot's
agree
I
with
love
that one.
Sandlot.
movie.
Sandlot is great.
All right, Big T, what is it?
Fever pitch.
Oh,
The people that don't like Sandlot like to point out it's just a collection of scenes, and then if you point out to them that that's what every movie is,
That's a movie.
Then they get angry, and then yeah.
I watched Sandlot. I was late to the Sandlot wave. I didn't watch it until I was 22. Not a fan.
That's insane.
What is that? What does that
not
mean?
a fan. I'm saying maybe if I had watched it as a kid, I would have had the nostalgic
Yeah,
factor
yeah,
of
yeah.
it.
It came out when y'all
Yeah.
were, you know.
But it didn't come out. It was of a period that we didn't grow up in.
Correct, but I'm just
It was
saying.
not set in the 1990s.
As an adult, it did not come across as that great of a film to me.
Okay.
Shout out Major League as well.
Major League, Moneyball. Also remember the Titans, of course. Ask Wub, your favorite baseball team has to accomplish what this year to be considered a successful season for you guys? World Series.
Win the World Series, or
Listen.
have the World Series take place.
We have to win the World Series.
You have to win the World Series.
Every year has just been the same. Where
Philly
we
fans are the worst, dude.
listen. These are the
Philly fans
expectations we
absolute
create.
worst.
They are the worst.
I'm gonna have fun.
Sure, like that. Does that make you feel like you're better than everyone? Because you're like, Philly, we demand greatness. Based on what? You never win anything.
That we only have so many more years of this Bryce Harper core, and I want him to get one. So that's my guy. What about you guys?
I'll set my sights lower, and I don't care if it makes me a loser to do it. I just want to win the division. The Cubs win the division, I'll be happy.
Okay.
We should have won the division like the last few years. The Brewers are a thorn in my side. Win the division, I'll be happy.
I think the Tigers have greatly improved. I think that the Guardians are cool standing pat. So making the playoffs would make me very, very happy. I'm okay with the wild card. If we three-peat in this division and beat the Tigers again, I will be thrilled.
I'm a big enjoy the journey, not the destination guy with baseball. It's too long of a season. If you're worried about the end of the season.
We can't be asking these questions. Shout out to Big Steve for that last
You
question.
can't be
Why
asking
did Connor
these
just ask that
questions.
question after only one
crazy.
game for Judge? It wasn't about the one game, C-Lark. It was about
crazy.
this whole trend of him not showing up in big moments. Whatever. Well, we'll get to it later. We'll talk
AJ
about it more
Pierzynski,
tomorrow.
I apologize one more time for Connor's.
Opening day, Sweet
Absurd
16.
question.
Let's have a blast. Thanks for tuning in to Wake Up Barstool.
Hey, you know
We'll
what,
catch
Connor? You know
guys
what?
tomorrow.
Technical foul.
Technical foul.